The baby Ruth is very delicious, kind of sweet, a little bit nutty. I think you guys should taste a baby Ruth so you would understand me better. Hey Brenda, hi Brenda. Hey Lorena.
Hi.
Good morning, how you doing?
Okay, you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
What are you doing today at Perspectives?
Well, I'm replacing Melissa, but actually, interestingly, I'm in a movie. And right now you're in a movie too.
No. Candid camera?
I think so. With a hocus pocus, you're in focus. It's your lucky day. Smile, you're on candid camera. That may get cut, you realize it, but... I was, I would say, an extremely shy kid. A person who would not speak to adults that I didn't know very well, like my mom and my dad. I would hide behind the curtains in the living room in my house to avoid talking to other adults. So I was really, really shy. I have a cousin who's about the same age as me, and she grew up living right next door to me. She was shorter than me, but she was the person who had to, even though she was shy too, whenever we were in a situation, she had to ask the questions because I wouldn't speak. I had become a teacher because I thought I always got along well with kids, and kids usually got along well with me. But the main thing that I think taught me not to be shy was getting involved in my union. Not that I would say a word at the big union meetings that took place once a month. The first time that I had to say anything, I remember I was standing in a line waiting to have my turn to talk, and I was hoping that the discussion would end before I got to speak. I was such a wreck that when I actually got to the microphone, my voice didn't come out right away. It kind of swallowed my words. And I guess I say that partly as that was part of my beginning to not be so shy. Once I'd done it once, it wasn't as scary the next time, and I kept on finding that out about things in the union. The more I did something, the less scary it was. In my actual teaching career, which was for 40 years, I only spent 7 years in the classroom, and the rest of the time I was at the union office, either as an employee or eventually for 26 years as the president. I think for me, my passion probably is to feel like I'm using the skills I was lucky to have been given in a positive way to help other people, because that's what makes me feel happy. So when I retired, I decided that I wanted to volunteer at Perspectives. Last year, at the beginning of the year, I was substituting for a teacher named Julia DeRay. Kayla was in my homeroom class. I noticed her because she would not talk. She was very, very shy. She always was walking around carrying this book very close to her chest. And I said, "So what's in there?" And she said, "Oh, that's my sketchbook." And I said, "Well, can I look, or is it too personal?" But she right away showed me her sketchbook. But halfway through, everything became the Beatles. All of them, one of them at a time, different styles of hair that they had at different times, but it was all Beatles. And I was looking at Kayla and I said, "Like, you love the Beatles?" And she said, "Yeah." So I said, "How old are you?" And she said, "I'm 15. And I said, "When I was 15, that's when I was totally in love with the Beatles. It's an amazing experience to meet you." And I guess because we had that bond, it was possible for Kayla to start to sort of like not be so scared or not be so shy when she was with me in class. I learned not to be shy in a very long process of little bit by little bit, being a little braver each time. My mother used to come into my bedroom in the morning. She'd pull up the blinds and she'd say to me pretty much every morning of my life when I was at home, "Rise and shine, it's a beautiful day." And sometimes I'd look out the window at what she was looking out at as she said that, and it would be like pouring, you know? And I would sort of say grumpily to my mother, "It's raining." And she'd say to me, "That doesn't mean it isn't a beautiful day." And that was her way of thinking about stuff. So I feel that's something that means something to me, and I better share it. So that's, I think, my main inspiration.